everyone, welcome to Moments of Reflection with Ms. T on MCI TV. This is your girl Tebogo Makwani, also known as Ms. T. Once again, we've got an awesome show ready for you. But before everything, guys, remember you need to wear your mask. We're on level 2 lockdown, but that does not mean that the coronavirus has ended. So please, every time you go out of the house, remember your mask. And again, always remember to wash your hands with soap or to sanitize. So today it's episode 6 and it's going to be fun. As you can see, we've changed the studio, so it's about to go down. Today is episode 6 and we've got the Nichols family. They are from Camp Tolo. I guess you know Camp Tolo from the Young Women's Camp 2020. Yes, they are the ones who helped us organize the Young Women's Camp. So I just want to introduce them. Today we have a couple, guys. This is so exciting. So the Nichols family, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. Like, this is the first time I'm interviewing 2 people at once, so this is a challenge for me and it's exciting, and plus it's a couple, so wow. So I just want you to introduce yourself to our viewers today. Who are you in your own words?
In my own words, I'm Stephen Wayne Nichols, married to Motlago Nichols. And yeah, together we run an organization called Tolo Leads the Way CC, which is broken down into different brands. Camp Tolo, which you know,
Yes.
from Camp. But then we also have the I Am Next brand and the Tours brand as well. So yes, that's me in my words. My love.
Hi, like my husband said, my name is Motlago. We've been together now close to 15 years.
Sure. Wow. Okay.
As a company, more or less. But as the company itself, it's been running for 11 years.
Okay.
And then we're passionate with everything that we do. Yeah.
Okay, I just want you to explain to people, what is Camp Tolo? What do you guys do, where it began, and why you felt the need to organize camps and as a couple?
Oh, okay. It started when it was like 15 years ago. We were based in Pretoria, but under a different organization.
Okay.
And then we saw something lacking in the industry. And then we decided, you know what, we will follow God's voice. And Stephen had an idea to draw our album, our logo.
Okay.
And so then it just took off. Everything started falling into place. Like the venue, out of nowhere, somebody told us there's a venue in Brits.
Okay.
And then we followed that voice. We came to Brits with practically nothing. Yeah, sure, like with the furniture, practically nothing, just following God's voice. And then when we got to Brits, we found a house. And then there was a beautiful lady who let us rent a farm. And then that's how practically Tolo started from 11 years ago, yeah. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we basically started with nothing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, and the interesting thing
No,
about
really nothing, love, just God's voice.
yeah, okay. So that's to say, materially, you know, we didn't have much resource. Let's put
Okay.
it that way. And you know, as children of God, it's interesting when you're doing the work that He requests of you. He always asks you for what you have in your hand.
Yes.
And it's never nothing. You know, there's always, it's might be small, but it's something. And that small always leads to greater. You know, and that pattern has continued all the way through until now. That, you know, we're able to do whatever we need to with what we have. And that's basically what the organization is about.
Yes.
So, if you know, that's why we're able to work anywhere and everywhere. Because when we arrive there, we look around. It's like, okay, what do we have? And then we put that together and create an awesome experience that will connect people and hopefully connect them to God.
Yes.
But definitely connecting people and connecting God, that's what we're passionate about, and connecting people to God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, what would you tell, like explain to people, what does Camp Tolo do? What do you offer, your programs, and yeah, anything else
differs.
about the company?
It differs. Our main primarily is introducing kids to nature.
Okay.
We're mainly based in nature because both of us, me and my husband, are nature conservationists.
Okay.
So we have this passion for nature. But how it came to be where we're standing today, it's a weird story that it cannot be told.
Okay.
Because when we were speaking to our daughter about our life that led us to be here, I was supposed to have had a job in Limpopo, doing what, my passion that I studied for. But somehow God intervened and said no. There was a small voice every time I applied for a job. He'd be like, no, focus on Gauteng, don't focus anywhere else. Literally I missed a lot of job opportunities. Even my husband is the same story. God kept on telling him, focus. Later in his years, and sure, he also did environmental education. And in environmental education, somehow he landed up in Pretoria, and I also landed up in Pretoria. And to tell you only God. And then we saw something lacking in that company the organization we were working in. They had a good thing going, but there was something lacking.
Okay.
So, and then somebody said, no, but you guys, if you can do this at a smaller scale, why don't you go to Brits? There's a venue standing still. That's how practically, like I said, God has been intervening to a point where, like I said, it's a very weird, even today, if I had to sit down and explain at what time, at what point, it would be, it's a very weird journey.
Yeah, how we came together, that's a whole nother story, because it's definitely two separate timelines that were forced together, because I could have been literally anywhere in the world. I was going different direction, in this field, but geographically totally different. So yes, we started in I learned from an organization in Limpopo. I learned, environmental education. I then opened the first business in Pretoria, which worked well to a degree, but it wasn't where we were supposed to be. Perhaps for the time, but that season was definitely over. So, from our dual backgrounds, from Utlaho working in sand parks, myself working with various other organizations, we learned to adapt. Like I was saying earlier, we learned to adapt. And so when we do camps now, and I always tell people this, they don't believe me, but it really is true. No two camps are ever alike.
Sure.
So every camp that we do is totally unique, So when people come to us, they are truly coming to us for a unique experience. That's the one thing that we can offer, So, we often get asked the question, show us a package. Like, yes, I can show you a package. But that's not, the package is not necessarily what
the experience is going to be.
It's not going to what the experience is going to be, because people are different, and we work with so many different people. And even when we work with one school, we have some clients that's been with us from Pretoria, start going 15, 16 years. And I can assure you, the grade 6s that's been coming with me from that school every single year, I've been doing, I can do the same, been doing the same program, similar, but every single experience is different
Okay.
because the people are different. You know,
So I wanted to ask, because as you said that Tolo leads the way, it's a company with different structures. So I wanted you to explain, like, what do you do as a company? Because I see there's I Am Next there, and then there's
Yeah.
Camtolo. So
so basically, so my answer go first. So basically, we wanted to have the name Tolo, just plain Tolo, but unfortunately, that couldn't be done due to registration things. But the reason why we wanted to have a simple name is because we didn't know where we were going to end up. So we didn't want to have the name, although we were doing environmental education at the time, we didn't want to be called a Tolo Environmental Education Center,
Okay.
because that will box us. All right. So that's why we thought if we could go Tolo and then do whatever we wanted to, that didn't work. So we combined the name, the name, and the logo together, called it Tolo Leads the Way CC. And then we registered doing tourism, environment education, training, and we made a mistake by not including the words general trading,
okay.
which we brought in the later stage, so that we can really do whatever we need to do. So, but Tolo Leads the Way CC doesn't sell well as a brand, you know. So it's really just a background name. So when we out in the public and we're marketing camps, you know, we're taking kids into the bush, teaching them about nature, about leadership. It's generally campsites related. Then we use the brand Camp Tolo.
Okay.
Okay, so it's basically people coming to us, and that could be anywhere. You know, it's not Camp Tolo it's a brand. It's not a place.
Okay.
And that's what people often is like, where's your cap? Like, no, where are you? You know, so what can we do for you? So literally what we go in then as Camp Tolo, we get a site, we negotiate with the owner, and we operate that site as if it's our own.
Oh, okay.
So when the client comes in, they'll find Camp Tolo facilitators, Camp Tolo educators, or Camp Tolo staff, Camp Tolo food, catering. It's all us. So yeah, and then we tours. You don't explain the tours part.
Okay, but the tours is different. Tours are one of our clients. Like Stephen said, we've had clients from Pretoria for 15 years to 16 years now. One of our clients was like, you know what, you guys, I want to take my kids to see Kruger National Park. Can't you organize that for me?
Okay.
I love my kids, but my kids have never stepped out of a comfort zone of such a place. Actually, a comfort zone of Gauteng. So can't we just jump the border of Gauteng and take them somewhere where they've never seen anything? And we did that for them, and that's how Tolo Tours took off. And then he said, okay, the next time he gave us another challenge is like, my kids have never seen an ocean.
Sure.
Can you organize? For me, that camp, when the kids went to the ocean, seeing all those kids, practically 55 kids out of the bus, opening their eyes. Is that the ocean? Is that the ocean? It goes far, it goes far. I've never thought this thing could go this far. That's practically where Camp Tolo Tours is. And then I Am Next is, we also, like Stephen said, we also had the similar, our clients coming on camp just for fun, and then they were like, no, but we've been going to other campsites, but they don't, when they say leadership, it's not a leadership program. So what we did is like, okay, so do you want us to organize a program for leadership? And then we did that. So it's practically what we have is because of our clients that we've had for like 15 years, and we listened to them, and then we gave them what they wanted. Hence, that's why they've been with us for 16 years.
So everything that we do, it's because people come to us and say, can you do this?
Can you do this?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, and then we smile and say yes. And then we get back home, it's like, yeah, do you know what they asked us to do? How are we going to do this? Let's figure this out. And then we figure it out and we do it. You know, so yeah, and there's different things. There's some things that we do for budget, you know, where we get paid to do it, and there's other work that we do where,
God
you know,
takes control.
yeah, and there's literally no profit, but we do it anyway, just because it needs to be done. And then sometimes some programs, you know, gets sponsored from somewhere or out of our own pocket. Sometimes we have to, you know, do things for people. So yeah, that's basically. But the I'm Next brand, if I may just go on there for a few seconds, that's just about. It's about leadership, resource development. So we've been developing a lot of. I don't want to call it books. It's more resources.
Okay, something like this.
Yeah, something like that one that you have over
Yes.
there. So it's for people who are in the field of mentoring, mostly. So that's what we're developing material for. So yes, we mentor, but we also make materials available for people who want to mentor, but they don't have the material to mentor. So that's what I'm Next basically does.
Sure, this is awesome and very interesting. I'm listening to your story about how you left your lifestyle side and just came to Brits with literally nothing. And I'm thinking about the Young Women's Camp 2020 that you guys helped organize, because I don't even think I was going to manage organizing a camp. But one thing that people don't understand is, well, the Young Women's Camp's theme was birthing your godly purpose. And usually when people hear birthing your godly purpose, they think in pulpit, they think in church, they think in church choir. They don't think anything outside the church. But with you, I can hear that what you're saying is that God took your purpose and brought you here. Something like the story of Abraham. Go to the land that I will show you.
Yes.
Leave everything behind, leave your family, go to the land. So with your purpose, like I want you to tell people how, like, God took your purpose and used it this side, just like to explain to people that your purpose is not just for church. Yeah.
For me, I'm going to be different. What I realized is, I'm sorry if I am offending some people out there, but what I've realized is that the church doesn't cater to the youth.
Yeah.
It really doesn't cater to the youth. If you go to churches now, that this is what we have discovered, is that if you go to a church, the age gap between the age of 15, 16 to the age of 25, it's minimum. You can even count them in your hands. Either those kids were forced to come to church. That's the truth. They were like, either they were forced to come to church by mommy and daddy, or very few of them out of that group were willingly coming to church. And so what we discovered is, like, the youth, practically the adults, we don't, I'm speaking to myself also, is that we don't listen to the youth. We take them for granted. And then I remember there was a time when I went with the kids on the bus. It's very rarely traveling with the kids on the bus. But when I was traveling with the kids on the bus, there was a couple of girls, they were 13-year-olds, grade 7s. And then just merely sitting with them and asking them, they're like, how's life? You know, they're like, life. You know, and then at the then you ask them questions, and then at the end of the day, they come back to you. It's like, you know what? Even my own mom doesn't ask me these things.
Sure.
Even my mom doesn't speak to me. It doesn't. For me, that's when it clicked that if you bring kids to nature, it removes the masks, and then the kids become vulnerable. They become kids, not the forced version that we force them in the outside world. They really, like, I'm not lying, like you seeing a 12-year-old coming with a race car, playing on sand, sitting with sand, smelling the trees, and literally playing, because you are allowing that inner child to come out.
Yeah.
Even where there's an obstacle course, where there's mud, the kids won't even come out of the mud. They will sit in the mud. They will play. Even if you go to our Facebook page, you will literally see a couple of kids that we had to be like, guys, come, it's time to go. It's time to go now. And they're like, no, just skip, because we don't do this at home. We don't do this at home. And they're like, no, when I go home, I'm going to be washing dishes. So this is my chance to sit in the mud and to enjoy being me, enjoying not to be shouted at, no, enjoying like you guys asking me if I'm okay. That's the question that we've realized, is you tell a person, especially kids, you good the way you look. It doesn't mean if you're wearing pink and purple clothing, you still look good. Also, what we discovered is you ask them, are you sure you're okay today? That alone can literally make kids cry, but just asking them, oh, are you okay today? That it clicked to us, oh, you know what? This is God given. It's not us. Sorry, Mala.
No, I just wanted to say, we forget that we are people, and it's almost as if the human race, including Christians, have forgotten what people are. We forget and people are awesome.
Yeah.
People are really and truly, people are awesome.
Kids.
Yeah, and God has created, and also, when He created people, it's like, we're the pinnacle of creation, and that's what saddens me sometimes, when people add the word trash to anything that is human. You cannot call any human being, no matter what, where, or how, because that's God's creation. If I had to take something that you created, you spend time and effort thinking about this thing, and then, for some other reason, dirt got onto it, and then you go and call that thing trash and throw it in the garbage bin. It's awful, So we need to get back to the point and say, human beings are the pinnacle of God's creation. Yes, some of them are messed up. Some like really like, sure, you messed up bad, bro, But at the end of the day, they are people.
Yes.
And when you take time to sit down
With that person,
and speak to people, at their level, and just give them time. And especially when you take them out into nature, incredible things happen. You don't need fancy obstacle courses with, abseiling towers and stuff. Just pure sand and mud and water and dirt and human contact. Being genuine people. The most amazing things, transformations happening in the lives of people.
Sure.
You can take out a Bible if you want to, but God doesn't need a Bible to connect to people.
Yes, true.
God was there before the Bible. Jesus was there before church. We were speaking about Abraham earlier. Abraham was there, before even the Jewish people. So if you go back to Genesis, God and man, Garden of Eden.
Also, love, you'll be surprised. We don't only deal with Christians, and okay, it's not a ministry. We're not running a ministry. We because this is the funny thing. I remember there was one venue we used. It's a pure Christian campsite. And I know the struggles of this industry. Whatever God gives you, you have to rejoice. No matter what race, what religion, whatever it is, you have to embrace it and love it. I'm not speaking bad of them, but it's just the point of view of life. Because I remember asking one of the administrators there, is like, what if one day you don't have camps on your campsite, and out of nowhere, God blesses you with an Islamic 300 people. Just, it has happened to us. We've had an Islamic school of 300 people. And I was speaking out of experience and saying, we prayed to God, oh God, please, this time we don't know how we're going to survive the next couple of months. Can you just bless us? And then out of nowhere, a Muslim school calls, and we got blessed with close to 250 kids. And
no, that group was over 300.
It was over 300, between 250 and 300 learners. Just imagine 6 to 7 buses coming to the campsite. And when I asked her that, you know what she said? We would reject it because it's not of God. It's not Christian. They're not Christian.
Okay.
They're not because most of these campsites are very strict. That at 6 o'clock you have to pray. At 8 o'clock you have to do devotions. Most of these campsites that we use. But I'm not against that. It's for them. But for me, it's what I've learned, and especially what our clients have taught us, is that love. Love. If you love a kid, giving them a hug, and even them they're Muslim or Jewish, but just merely giving that kid love and giving them a hug. They don't care if you're Christian or Jewish or whatever religion you are. Those kids would literally run for that hug.
Sure.
And then to reject that, to have an opportunity to show her, okay, my God, make me stand in front of you guys and I'm going to show you love. For me, that baffled me. It was like, why? This is an opportunity for you not to preach about our God, our Savior. No, this is an opportunity to show people what our Savior stands for.
Sure. This is so interesting. I like the fact that you're showing us that, like, the birthing your godly purpose, that you guys are using it in such a unique way in nature, because a lot of people they think we have to sit down and be in seminars all the time or in church or everything to discover your purpose. But the fact that you remove people from their normal lives and take them to nature, that's very awesome. So let's just talk about the Young Women's Camp.
Okay.
For you, how was it organizing a camp? And then while we organizing the camp, then COVID hits us, and then the president started with the new regulations, no over 50 people. Just your experience organizing the Young Women's Camp.
Okay, yes, you may speak.
Okay, for me, when you called, we knew your camp was coming. And can I be honestly truthful? We knew your camp was coming.
Okay.
And Stephen told you that sentence, we don't do church camp.
Yeah.
we don't do church camps. Okay, for given reasons, is we have our own experience. But if anybody out there that wants to bring a church camp, they're more than welcome. We knew your camp was written, it was set on stone. Okay. For us, we knew that your camp was going to happen.
This is interesting. Okay.
For us, being honest, when you called and said there was technical difficulties, I had a whisper, and while I was speaking to Stephen, because we just came from a week camp, a very interesting week camp. To a point, our staff was like, the spirit of the camp, because our staff is they're very high, high bubbly spirited. And then when we get kind of camps where they drain them at the end of the day, it's like sorry, and then because they're well-being, and then you came along, and then you said it's not adding up, and I remember speaking to Stephen. I was like, Stephen, I hear this voice in me says this camp has to happen, like it or not.
I love my God, guys. I love my God.
Can I tell you a secret? That you probably, I know we've never had this conversation.
Yes,
before,
that's why it's so interesting
but your
for me.
camp was a financial miracle.
Sure.
Serious.
It's a financial miracle.
Miracle.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
The
it
logistics
took
didn't
to happen.
It didn't add up. Even in our books as we speak now, like when I'm doing the financial statements now, it didn't add up.
It's not only for financial miracles, logistical. It's a miracle on all crazy levels.
Yeah.
It's one big miracle.
Sure.
That's all. Yeah.
I heard a voice, and I remember sitting next. Stephen was there on the office table. I was like, okay, what now? And I remember calling you back. I was like, you know what, whoever you have, whatever you have, bring it over. We'll work our miracles with it. At the end of the day, we don't know what God his intention was.
Sure.
But you saw on the last day what God's intention was.
Yes.
And for me, that alone, after your camp, I really had to sit down and I had to rest.
Sure.
I literally had to rest because if people would understand, we had a strenuous 2019. Not as strenuous in such a way, we were blessed, we were overly blessed.
Okay.
To a point where we didn't know how to handle it. You know your blessings, you know your limit of blessings. But last year, God, I don't know what He did. He just put favor upon us, to a point where our winter season was not a winter season. It was like flowing all the way. And then problem is with that is that people don't understand. I remember also with you, I'm like, oh, you need to understand, organizing this thing takes months, like 2 months, a month, to organize to get it perfectly. Your camp, how it works in 3 days. Only God knows. Stephen knows a camp takes 2 to 3 months to organize. And then imagine there was a camp before you, and then before you there was a group of 280 leaders.
Sure.
And we had like 5 buses now. Yeah, we had 5 buses before you. So you can imagine coming from that to another camp and then to you.
Sure.
And then for me, I'm a little bit grateful for COVID. Because for me, I had a serious injury last year and I never rested because of that. That injury to a point where I had to be bed rested for 3 months. Okay, sorry, this is the backstory of it. I fell at work.
Sure.
I literally fell. To a point I heard my leg went. Even everybody around me heard that sound. And being raised to be a strong black woman, that you know what, you have to stand up, press yourself,
Keep
carry
moving.
on, keep moving. And I did that, and that was a mistake. Because people around me, they're like, we need to take you to the hospital, we need to take you to the hospital. I'm like, nah, it's okay, it'll brush off. It took 2 weeks, now. After 2 weeks, that's when my whole leg literally was like, no. And to find out how I broke a ligament. So building from that, and then being overly blessed, you don't know the limit is. Oh, God just pushed the ceiling to a point where you're like, okay, can you breathe, God, with the blessings? But the blessings kept on and kept on multiplying over and over, to a point, I don't want to lie, last year was our good year. And then it overflowed to 2020. But problem is, sorry, Mala, we didn't rest. We didn't take time. So, and then COVID hit. And then we've been at home for full 7 months.
So,
No, I just want-
your experience of the young women's camp. How was it?
My young women's camp is, sorry love to cut you. The experience is different. I've worked with different female camps. I've worked to a point with the Muslim camps where no men was allowed. It was a different experience. That taught me, that was my first female encounter. And then as it grew, it multiplied. For me, it just said in me that it was very minute. It deserved a bigger audience. Let me put it that way, because the encounter with God was greater.
Yeah.
The encounter with God was bigger, and I believe that more people needed to be there.
Yes.
And you know, like when you have that feeling, there needed to be more people in the ground, but they were not there. But God had a purpose at the end of the day. And that's what I learned, is that, you know what, you have to listen to God, whether you like it or not. Because if you don't listen to God, you will fall.
So Stephen, you as a man, how was your experience organizing the camp? Because I met with you more than I met with your wife.
So you know what the viewers out there don't know. How many times I said to you, Tebogo, I don't do Christian camps. I don't like Christian camps. They don't work. You know.
Because people would book and then they don't materialize.
That's the one part of it. The other part of it is
We
the
pray for
camp
miracles.
it's like this hype happens on camp. You know, it's the camp itself is great. It's awesome, and then comes Monday, and life goes back to normal. Nothing's ever changed, except for a minute few amount of people. That was number one. Because I said Christian camps, no, and I said if you're going to do this ladies camp, you know, I don't like this idea of men and women. You know, that, you know, the whole men versus women thing is, it's gone too far. You know, we need to start getting together. We need men to speak into women's lives, and women, you know, to speak to men. We need to have a coming together. And then if you do this camp, please, can you at least, I didn't force to like at least consider, you know. And I was, at the end, I was pleased the way it worked out. You know, because there were gentlemen, those women's camp, but there were gentlemen there as well. I know initially it wasn't intended for them to be as actively involved as they were. But, you know, you ladies, you're just embracing the men. I think that's a start for gender equality, or gender, if we want to say equality, we can't, because it's not really equal, we're different. And we need to celebrate each other's differences and realize that men are awesome, ladies are awesome, you know. But how do we be awesome together? You know, it's not who's more awesome than the other one. It's like let's just be awesome together. So, and that's what I really saw on the camp. That's what excited me the most, is how the men that were there, they just got involved and just flowed with the ladies without being chauvinistic. You know, how the ladies were there, you know, they also just embraced and were good to the men. You know, not subservient, but, you know, strong ladies. You know, just being together and being one. I think that's for me was awesome. And thank you. And by the way, when you spoke on that Sunday morning, that I was like, sure. That's like preacher, you know. Can we take this and put it on a global stage somewhere?
Okay.
Because your word that morning was excellent, and personally, I believe a lot more people need to hear from you.
Sure.
And you definitely need a bigger platform to speak from.
Well, okay, now I'm shy. But like hearing the experience of the camp from you guys' perspective, it's like so interesting for me because when I'm in the other side, I was always panicking. And one thing you helped me with was every day you said, Tebogo, calm down, relax. And I was like, I don't understand how these people are saying I should relax. People are canceling. The numbers are not adding up. What's happening? So the fact that you telling me your story about it is just, I'm only starting to relax now. I'm fully relaxing now. And like we spoke, we are going to have a camp again where we're going to have just men, and then we're just going to have men and women. So we're hoping that as things work out and after COVID, we'll be able to implement everything. But I'm speaking on behalf of all the women and men who were there this year, the Young Women's Camp. We had an awesome experience. I don't even think, like you say, we always plan, but when you get to the campsite,
God takes over.
Yeah, it just becomes something else because what I had in mind and what I got there, I would have chosen what. Yeah, on behalf of me and the other ladies, I would just like to thank you because for me, the experience of the camp was just on another level because I didn't especially the obstacle course. I remember we didn't want to do that. Everybody was like, we're going to go on mad. We don't want to do this. And I thank my sister for pushing us and saying, guys, remember, we are at a camp. Because sometimes we forget these things that when we say we're going to camp, it's not weaves. Because I remember Steven was like, please tell them, don't bring heels, don't bring weaves. So the fact that we could all swim and we did that obstacle course and seeing women in ministry letting go and going through the mud and really enjoying it. I think for me, when I saw them enjoying it and not complaining, that's what's like, okay, God, now I understand why you wanted people. I mean, you wanted us to be here. So thank you so much. And I now understand what you mean when you say that when you plan a camp, the experience is always different. And I believe all the women had fun and they enjoyed it because they're still talking about it even today. So I can't wait for the next one. Next year.
Yeah. We are COVID ready.
Yes. Oh, okay.
No,
yes.
Actually, we have already started doing programs.
Yeah.
In 2 venues to do programs.
Okay.
COVID ready programs. So.
Yeah, so let's just, let me go straight to the next question. How did COVID-19 affect your business? Because we've been looking for people who are saying, okay, COVID-19 happened, but we didn't let life stop us. We continued. So how did COVID affect your business, and what did you do to improve yourself as a brand?
You wanna go? Okay, go.
For us, okay, I'm gonna speak not for I Am Next, but I'm gonna speak for the other branches of Camp Tulo and Tulo Tours. For us, what happened, it put a halt in everything. We've not lost, but I don't know how to say it in a proper way, but it's not, we didn't lose, if that makes sense.
Okay.
We were supposed to have had 5 clients, after March, April. But due to COVID, they had to pull out. Okay, yes, they had to pull out because of the restrictions and everything.
Yeah.
And that's what practically has happened. But we are COVID ready. The campsites are COVID ready. Everything, like I said, we are ready. But for us, as we take it, is God works in a mysterious ways. Especially for me, we prayed for peace. We prayed and prayed and prayed that for peace. It's weird. I prayed for peace now for close to 10 years. My husband knows that. I've been praying myself that at least God just give me peace, where I don't need to worry about if Deborah's camp is gonna go well. Is there gonna be an incident on the camp? So I'm grateful for that. For the past 15 years, we've never had incidences.
Sure.
And on our campsites. So every day when my staff, my husband travel to the campsite, he knows. I worry. That's like even though it took 3 months to plan, for me is the worry is if they don't call me the minute they set foot at the gate of the camp, I panic. Because those are the most important people in my life, you know, my staff, because we won't be here because of our staff. I don't want to lie, because of them, this is where, because we're here. And then they don't come, even though they get irritated by me. And he knows that. It's important to me, because I need to know, like, especially you guys, especially my clients, you know, when they get to the gate. It's very stressful, because if you're not by the gate, I panic. Where's Tebogo? Why she's taking so long? Did they have an accident? Why are they not calling? And that alone, I didn't realize it started eating me, like starting from 10 years ago. That started eroding me slowly and slowly and slowly. And then hence that's why I've been praying, God, please give me peace. Please God me. And now I'm grateful for that, because of the camps that we did, you, including you, you sustained us for these 7 months.
Okay,
I don't want to lie. You guys literally, the camps that we did, like I said, God had blessed us from 2009 till 2020 to a point where we were sustained that I could sit at home and be a tutor to my daughter. And I could have not the peace I wanted, but a version of the peace I want, if that makes sense. Okay, love?
No, I just wanted to say, you know, one mistake people make about us, they think that
We're dying.
that the work that we do is when the camp starts and when the camp ends.
Okay.
It's not true. There's a heck of a lot of stuff that happens before the camp, and there's a heck of a lot of stuff that happens after the camp. So just because I'm not on camp does not mean that I'm not working. And because, especially the preparation, because even when I'm on camp and I'm not facilitating, I'm still working. So because what we're basically doing is we're in a business where we're developing people. And it drains you. It really, it saps a lot of energy out of you.
Because the things that we've encountered,
if we speak about that's another story.
That's another story.
We have to do a part 2 at some stage. But, you know, it's draining. So you need, you know, so in a way, COVID, yes, it gave us, both of us, you know, time off from that, you know, the energy of having to develop people. So there's only one person that we had to focus on developing now. It's Alexis, you know, our daughter, and then obviously our relationship between the two of us, and then our individual relationships with ourselves. I said one. It's more than one. Our relationship. So in other words, our development focus shifted, you know, to smaller things. So, and also gave me an opportunity to work on my things, which I've been also asking God for a long time. Can we please just stop camps a little bit, because I need time to write, I need time to reflect, I need time to recharge. So yes, camps were put on ice. Tours were put on ice, but we were not necessarily put on ice. It's just as individuals, it's just that we had to. It's a time for regrouping,
Restoration.
and restoration's a good word. Yeah.
Yeah, because I also saw with I Am Next, you've been having an online seminar.
Yes, so we finished one series of the leadership tools, the My Development series. We've taken a short recess now for we call it the I Am Next Leadership in Dabo every Wednesday night. So we've taken a short break. We're gonna come back now. We're just regrouping,
Okay.
and then when we come back now with series 2, which is leadership redefined.
Okay.
Okay, so we're moving on into leadership redefined for 6 weeks, and then we'll probably take another short gap again, and then go into elements of leadership. So the leadership in Daba, 1 hour, where people of, I would call them mavericks, like people like yourself, people who are a little bit above average, who think differently. You're not necessarily a church leader, but community leader or whatever, or you just want more.
Yeah.
That's a place where we come together and online encourage each other and say, keep going, or give each other ideas and support, so on. Yeah. And then also we've been going to schools, presenting in schools as well, physically and online as well. So we're also now capable of presenting leadership programs online. And then the leadership in Daba, that as well. So the I Am Next brand during COVID is actually now really starting to grow and has the room to take off, because Tula Tours having to take a back seat, and Camp Tula especially having to take a back seat. It's given us time to focus on our other projects. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so right now I want us to have a bit of fun. I know there's a bit of a game that you've prepared for us, something that people can do whilst they're on lockdown and at home, because not everyone is going to work or to school. And one thing I loved about this time is that families now are starting to sit down together and enjoy each other's time. So what do you have that people can do at home and just have fun with?
Okay, so I brought along with me our words that power me.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Because we believe the words have power. Okay, so we want to challenge you to a game of words that power me. Now you don't need much.
Okay.
So even the viewers at home, it's going to be on our I'm Next page, which you can go and download there as well.
Okay.
Basically, all you need is words to start off with. You don't have to use our words, and you need something to create a sense of adventure. So, adventure is all in the mind. So to stimulate adventure, you need a timing device, any clock of any time, of any kind. 30 seconds. So it's not 30 seconds the one that it's a different kind.
Yeah.
So we will challenge you to see how well you do in 30 seconds. Our version of words that power me in 30 seconds. How well you do in that?
I really hope I'm not going to look down right now.
No, you're going to laugh.
Okay.
The words are so weird. It's actually specifically called weird words. The words are so weird. It's going to make you laugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so challenge accepted.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We have a devotion that I told you about. Do you want to share that?
Yeah.
We'll give you JPEG documents that you can, if you want to put a JPEG thing on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Like the words that we're using.
Oh, okay, yes. That will be awesome.
Let me I'll just choose 3 words, not all of it.
Not so difficult words, I hope.
Can you have the answers ready there, Mother?
Okay.
Can you keep this? Let's see, let's give you that one.
Please explain how the game works before we get into it.
Okay, so Teboho, I'm going to challenge you to only 3 weird words.
Okay.
Okay, see how well you know the English language. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'm going to hold up the word, and within 30 seconds, you have to write down the word, memorize it, write it down, and then within 30 seconds give us back the correct answer, the correct English definition
of that word.
for this word.
Also, the words are mixed up, so I have to write the right one.
No, just one word.
Okay.
You have to remember how it's spelled.
Okay.
Okay, and then try and figure out what the meaning.
All right.
Okay, and within 30 seconds, the correct spelling and the correct meaning. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see how well you do.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. I hope I don't look dumb right now. Oh my word, in front of everyone. But let's do this.
Okay.
Okay, and we have our auditor over here to make with the dictionary in front of her to make sure that your word is correct.
Guys, it's going down. Pray for me.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Go.
All right. So I write it down, right? So I'm going to
Yes.
write it down on my I Am Next book. On my notes. Okay, I wrote it down. Do I show it now?
Have you got the definition? You only got like 10 seconds.
Okay, I have to write a definition of
Yes,
it.
the definition.
7,
Goodness. No.
4, 3, 2, 1.
No, I didn't write a definition.
Time's up. Time's up. Time's up.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see how well. You didn't even say anything, so 0. 0. Whether you wrote it down or not correctly, it's 0.
Okay.
So remember, within 30 seconds, you must write it down
Yes, and the meaning.
and the meaning and give it back to us.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
Within 30 seconds.
Okay, the next word.
Meaning and definition. Are you ready for the
Ready?
next one?
The meaning and definition.
You're wasting time. You only have to.
Oh my God! I don't know.
So the viewers at home can divide into 2 teams, and that's how they can see which team gets the highest.
Okay. I think my team is losing, guys.
You're the only team.
Next.
Done.
Next.
Okay, you didn't manage to hand in anything, so at least hand in something within 30 seconds.
Like okay, like I need to get something. Let's see.
Okay, let's try the last.
Okay, wait. They are written in order.
No.
I have to rearrange the words.
No, they're written in order.
Okay.
Order. It's
yeah.
the correct word.
Oh,
These
okay,
are-
yeah,
these
that
are
one I
real
wanted to get.
words
Yeah,
in English.
I just need to write the definition.
Yeah.
These are real words in the English dictionary.
Okay, this English
It's
dictionary,
not made up words.
I've
for
never
sure.
seen it. Let's see the last word.
1.
Go.
Guys, I give up. I give up.
Come on, try at least.
I've never heard of that word. Just give me the answers. I lose. It's okay. I accept defeat.
Okay, so the 3 words we had was gable, doodle sack,
Okay.
and
No, that one is Bible.
bubble.
Bubble.
Not Bible. I
bubble.
knew you were gonna say. Most people think it's a Bible, but it's actually bubble.
Bubble.
The meanings are.
Bubble.
The meaning for bubble is to chew noisily, like when you're eating popcorn.
And I hate people who chew.
Yeah, so now
they
you can tell
bubble.
them stop bubbling.
Guys, please stop bubbling.
Okay, yeah, so that's the word bubble. The next one is doodle sack.
Okay.
Doodle sack is actually a old English word for bagpipes. Scottish bagpipes, the instrument.
Okay.
Yes. And then the
never
last
guessed
word
that.
is gable,
Okay.
which is one of the latest taxes which our government actually put on us. It's a tax on salt. Yeah. So
Okay, that was the weirdest and very interesting and informative 30 seconds I've ever played, and I hope you guys will go to the I Am Next
Website.
Facebook. Is it on Facebook
no, so
page?
it's on the I Am Next
www.
website.
Yes, on the I Am Next website.
Yeah,
Yes. Download it, guys. Play it with your family. This is very interesting. I think we're gonna learn something. I learned a new word, bubble. I hate people who chew loudly, so I'm going to use that word. Please stop bubbling. Oh wow, that was so interesting. I'm even sweating. I was challenged and I enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to play it with my family and friends while on lockdown. So as we are about to close, I just want you to just in a short, like in your own words, tell people out there any words of wisdom, your last words, what do you want to share with people out there?
For me, for my side, is work on your mental issues. Your mental health is more important than anything in the world, because we need to, things have changed, and we need to speak more about ourselves, learn to love yourself more, and especially learn about your mental health. Because a thing that took me 10 years, that was corroding me for 10 years, is starting to bubble now. So I never focused on my mental health. And now I'm grateful for this time that I get to learn about my mental health. So that's my most important thing.
Sure. Wow.
For me, it's, just get to know yourself, the real you, not the fake you, and then present that you to everybody else, and love that person, irrespective of other people, love that person not. Make sure that you love the real person, and be real. Then love God, love people.
Before I just a testament to that, I have a daughter that's very uniquely different. She's not into spectrum of daughters, of girly girl, my baby girl. And she won't like it if I say this, but she's the kind of girl who will wear a Spider-Man suit with a ballerina dress.
Okay.
And she loves it. She'll walk around the mall dressed like that, with no care in the world. And when mommy tries putting some things like, no, why do you want to change me? So be like that. Be you, be weird, be different. That's what everybody loves.
Sure. Wow. Thank you very much, the Nichols family. I really enjoyed this session, although I was beaten, but it's okay. I will try the game again. And next time I'll come prepared. So thank you for coming to Moments of Reflection with Ms. T on MCI TV. It was really a pleasure having you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, that's it, guys. This was episode 6 of Moments of Reflection with your girl, Ms. T on MCI TV. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel on MCI TV. Also like our page, MCI TV, on Facebook, and also TM Makwani Ministries Facebook page. For me, your girl, see you next week. Love you. Bye.